Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Roslina Barek, and I can explain about the introduction to English linguistic, the part one. Part one, analysis tasks. First, competence versus performance, Nam Chomsky. Explanation, competence refers to a speaker's internal knowledge of language, including grammar, rules, and vocabulary. Performance refers to the actual use of language in real situations. For example, a person may know the correct grammar competence but still make mistakes when speaking due to nervousness or distractions performs. Importance. This destination help linguists understand that errors in speech do not always reflect a lack of knowledge but may be influenced by real life conditions. Number two, phonemes and all tones. Explanation. A phoneme is the small unit of sounds that can change meaning in a language. And all tones is a variation of a phoneme that does not change meaning. For example, P in pin aspirated versus spin unaspirated. T in top versus top. L in light clear versus full dark. Even though the sounds are slightly different, the meaning does not change. So they are opponents of the same phoneme. Structural number three, structuralism versus generative grammar. Explanation. Structuralism focuses on analyzing language beside on observable data and patterns in speech. Generative grammar, introduced by Chomsky, focuses on the mental rules that allow humans to predict a language. Key differences. Structuralism, language as a system of habits. Generative grammar, language as an instrumental system. Number four, morphology, derivation, and compounding. Explanation. Morphology study how words are formed. Derivation, adding prefixes or suffixes change meaning or first class. Happy, unhappy. Teach, teacher. Compounding, combining two words to form a new word. Yeah. Toothbrush, classroom. This process affects vocabulary in English. And number five, syntax in sentence constructors. Explanation. Syntax refers to the rules that govern how words are arranged in sentence. For example, the student who study hard will be passed the exam. Main clause, the student will pass the exam. Subordinative clause, who studies hard. Syntax ensures the sentences are structured clearly and meaningfully. Number six, rule of semantics. Explanation. Semantics is the study of meaning in language. Semantics rule again the trigger of the action, mention the result of the action, term the identity affected by the action. For example, John kicked the ball. John again the ball pattern. This will help us understand how meaning is structured in a sentence. Next, number seven, language relativity. Explanation. Linguistic relativity suggests that language influences how people think and praise their word. This idea is known as the separate hypothesis. For example, different language categories color or time differently, which may affect how speakers phrase them. Yeah. And number eight, pragmatics in communication. Explanation. Pragmatics study how context affects meaning, key concepts, speech act, action performed through language, and a decisive verb like I, here, now depend on context. Applicator, applied meaning. For example, it's cold here, so this is may imply a request to close a window. And number nine, universal grammar. Explanation. Universal grammar is theory proposed by Chomsky. Humans are born with an innate ability to learn language. Supporting arguments, children learn language quickly. Similar grammatical patterns exist across languages. Challenges. Language learning influenced by environment. Not all languages share the same structures. Number 10, evolution of English. Explanation. English has evolved through the three main stages: Old English, Middle English, and Modern English. Key changes: phonological change in pronunciation, for example, Greek vowel shift. Lexical, borrowing words from Latin and French. Scientific, simpler grammar and more fixed for order. Cases: historical events, for example, numericals, cultural context, and social development. Okay, the next part two, solve the case. Case study one, code switching. Introduction: code switching is the practice of alternative between two or more languages which are conversation. It is very common in bilingual communities like Indonesia. Analysis sentence. Aku tadi telat karena the bus was slow. This sentence mixes Indonesian and English with its one structure. Type of code switching. Intransition switching. Switching occurs within a singular sentence. Interance lexical borrowing. English phrases into Indonesian sentence. Social motivation, yeah. Experience adulting, modern, educated. Practice of English, peer influence, social media, and globalization. Linguistic motivation, either expression in English, lack of access equivalent, a precise or style, habitual bilingual use. Sociolinguistic patterns. This reflects urban bilingualism in Indonesia, strong influence of English new language terms. In conclusion, code switching in the sense so both language flexibility and social identity in Indonesia bilingual communities. Case study 2, morphological productivity. Introduction: Modern English concepts pretty new force, especially in digital communication, analysis of words, and friend practice on plus friend. Type derivation: two, adulty, noun, verb, adulty, sufficing ing. Type derivation, and three, ping switch, communication of two words, type compounding. Explanation: derivation changes meaning of word class, compounding combines two independent words. Productivity: these examples show that English morphology is highly productive, flexible, influenced by technology or social media. And in conclusion, modern English easily from new words through derivation and compounding, solving its adaptability. And case number three, ambiguity. Sentence: visiting relative can be annoying. Type of ambiguity. This is structure, scientific ambiguity. Two, interpretation. The first interpretation, visiting relatives in a visiting first activity. And number two, interpretation, relatives who are visiting are annoying. Visiting per adjective. And linguistic levels in foreign scientific structure creates ambiguity. Semantic, meaning change, morphological, visiting has multiple forms. In conclusion, ambiguity occurs because the one structure allows multiple meanings. Case number 4, chills language acquisition. Sentence: I go to the park. Analysis: this is a common error in child language development. Zero explanation: according to theories of language questions, children learn to rules and apply them stage. This is raised to overgeneralization stage. Overgeneralization: childs apples regular past tense rule. Go good instead of when, and meaning the child understands grammar rule but has not learned irregular forms yet. Conclusion: this error shows active learning, not lack of knowledge. Case study number 5, pronunciation and action. Introduction: different English actions show variation in pronunciation, yeah. And for example, water. London Bridge is water. Clear T sounds. And New York American, water. T becomes flat, cheer. And phonological difference, some phoneme T difference all phonons. All phoneme pronunciation British T, American or sociolinguistic explanation action persists because of regional identity, social group, belong, culture background, links variation over time. And conclusion, accent difference reflect both phonological variation and social identity. Okay, I think that's enough about my explain introduction of English linguistic. I think this enough and thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.